So today in this lecture we'll continue with the chapter of inheritance. Now we will talk about the members which have the protected access modifier. The protected access modifier is new to you, all of you. We have talked about the public access modifier and the private access modifier. Now we'll talk about the protected. Protected can be applied to attributes or variables and to methods and constructors, cannot be applied to class. That means we cannot say protected class X. This is why cannot be applied to classes, neither to interfaces. Interfaces will be explained in the next lectures. So a variable, a method in the constructor can be declared protected in a superclass or in any class. That means they can be accessed by any subclass whenever this subclass is in the same package or in another package. But if a class is in another package other than the package where the protected attributes or members are created, they cannot be accessed. Let's take an example to understand what we are saying. In this example, we have package P1 and we have created the public class addition. In this class, there are two attributes, integer A, integer B, which are declared protected, and a method called named add two numbers. This method makes the calculation, the summation of A and B, and returns this summation. Also, it is declared as protected. Now, to see the visibility of the protected members in other packages, we created the package P2. In package P2, we created a subclass. So test extends addition. Test is a subclass of addition. In this class, the test class, because it extends addition, even if it is in another package, we can access the the protected attributes of the class addition. But if this class, the test class, does not extend or do not extend addition class, so this code will result in an error. We will try to test this code in the NetBeans. Let's go to the NetBeans. We'll create a new project. We'll call it, for example, example 2. Finish. In this project, we'll create two packages as in the example. So we will try to apply or we will try to test this class and this class, the class addition and the class test. Class addition is created in package P1 and the class test is created in package P2. So we need two packages, package P1 and package P2. This is package P1. We need also package P2. In package P1, we'll create the class addition class, the class named addition. Remove all these commands, we don't need it. We'll get the code from here, protected. So we have protected A and B and protected add two numbers. Okay, no errors. In package P2, we'll create the class test class, finish. This class extends the class addition. It is a child class. So public class test extends addition. Of course, we have an error. Why? Because we need to import the P1 to the package P1 to package P2 because it is in another package. So now let's bring the code from here. Public static void main. So here in this class, we created an object of class test obj. Because class test extends addition, that means obj has inherited all the members of the attributes, constructors, and methods existing in addition. In addition, we have the attribute a and b, two variables a and b of type integer, and of course, because there's no constructor here, that means the default constructor is created implicitly. We cannot see it, but it exists here because we didn't create any constructor. Also, we created the add two members method, which returns the summation of a and b. So a and b are two integers. Their summation, of course, will be an integer too. So we created an object of test. Test inherits a addition. So any object of class test will have the same variables or the same attributes of class addition, which are the variable a and b. But because we called the constructor with a default constructor, that means a and b have no value till now. So till this statement, the values of a and b, the values of a and b are are the default values of the integers, the default values of integers, which are zeros. So till now, a and b, in a there's a zero, and in b there's a zero. But if we want to change the values of a and b, just invoke the variable a and the variable b and give them a new value. What we want to say here is that when you have an object of class test and we say dot, look at this symbol here, it's protected. So A and B can be visible by this class because it is a subclass, but they are protected. Also, the method add two numbers, also it is protected. You can see the key right there. And there are other methods. So here we don't, this is why we don't need to make the get and set for the variable a and b as we did when we declared them as private. So in this case, the variable a for object for obj is equal 11, and for obj b for obj is equal to 22. Now we call the method add two numbers. Add two numbers, what does it make? It calculates the summation of a and b and returns the summation. So a plus b, 11 plus 22, will result in 33. Let's run this method or this class, because here we have a main method. So the output is 33. Now let's create another object. We can call any other constructor other than the default constructor, because we don't have any constructor in the addition class. So we'll name the object obj1 equal new object, new test, like that. Of course, we need, in this case also, if you want to make the calculation of the summation of the variables of obj1 a and b, we can say obj1 dot add two numbers. In this case, the output here will be or must be 0, because obj variable a, the variable a or the attribute a of obj1 is 0, and the attribute b of obj1 is also 0. So the summation of 0 and 0 will return a 0. Let's run this class. As we said, we have a 0 here. So this is what we are saying. So the protected attribute declared in the addition class is visible to the subclass in another package, because test is a subclass. Now let's change this. We don't want to make this class a subclass, so we will remove extends. In this class, look, we have an error. Why? Because A cannot be seen, is not visible to this class, because A is declared as protected. So we can't call add two numbers to the method add two numbers, because it is also protected. So in case the class is a child class, all the protected members of the superclass can be visible in the child class. But if the class is not a child class and is created in another package, the attributes or all members cannot be visible. Now let's create another package, another class in package P1. We'll call it T. This class is named T. In this class does not extend addition, but we will take the code from here and import p2.test. So you can see that T is not a subclass, it is a class created in the same package of addition. As you can see, obj a.a is so the variables of class A, are visible. Let's change here addition. We are trying to make an object of class addition. Forget the test class. So addition, we don't need this, of course. because we are working on the same package. So let's remove this too. So in this case, we created a class named named T in the same package of addition. Now, because we are on the same package, addition is a public class. We can use it on the same package without make any import here. Then another thing, we can make an object of this class, and because the objects or the attributes of this class are declared as protected, so they are visible to any class within the same package. As you can see, the class T, the variables A and B are visible to the class T, which is inside the same package. Let's close this one. We don't need it. So let's run class T. Okay, this is because there's an error. So the output of this class is 33. I will change the values of obj to 10 and 5. So the output now, run anyway, is 15 because 10 and 5 is 15. Now we'll go to another example or another part in this chapter, the last part of this chapter. The protected attributes are explained in the NetBeans, and the example is here. You can return to this example and try it in your PC. Now, the last part of this chapter is the inherited members with default access modifier. The default access modifier means that we do not explicitly declare any access modifier for a class, attribute, constructor, method, or anything else. A variable or method declared without any access control modifier is available to any other class in the same package only, no matter if it is a subclass or a class. Also, let's make an example. We can take the same example. For example, this we can remove from here public. In this case, the access modifier of class addition is the default access modifier. Also, we remove protected from here. The protected does not anymore exist here. So in this class, we have a class named addition with default access modifier. Why? Because there's no access modifier here. So that means it is declared with the default access modifier. And variable A and B is the same to the variable A and B, and to the method add two numbers. In case the variables are declared with default access modifier, they are visible to the class within its package, with the class with the same package. Whereas if we try to use the same attributes in another class outside the package P1, we are in package P2 now. Of course, an error will occur because the attributes here and the class and the methods are all declared with default access modifiers, so they cannot be visible in another package other than P1, even if this class is a child class of addition. So you can see the errors here because we declared them with the default access modifier. If you remove if you make the test class a class, not a subclass, it's the same. Also, there's an error. The class test cannot see variable A or variable B, or the method add two numbers. This is all about where, let's go return to the explanation here. The default access modifiers can be visible only within the same package. A summary of this chapter: visibility, that means how the attribute can be visible from another class or within the same class. So if we declare the variables or the attributes or the methods or constructors or anything in a class, we declare them public or private or protected or default within the same class, all these members can be visible. From another class created in the same package, we are in the same package, the public attributes can be visible, the private cannot be visible, even if we are in the same package. The protected can be visible, the default can be visible. From another class, from another non-subclass created in another package. Non-subclass, that means there's no inheritance. So the public can be visible, the private cannot, the protected cannot be visible outside this class, and the default also cannot be visible. From a subclass created in the same package, public can be visible, protected, and default. From a subclass created in another package, we are outside the package, so the public can be visible, the private no, the protected yes, and the default no. As you can see, this column of the public members can be visible anywhere inside the class, outside the class, inside the package, outside the package. The private cannot be seen anywhere except within the same class only. The protected and the default, you have to practice some examples to know the difference between them. Just look to these rules too. The methods declared public in the superclass also must be public in all subclasses. This part will be more explained in the next chapter when we will explain the overload and override methods. Methods declared protected in a superclass must either be protected or public in subclasses. They cannot be private. Methods declared private are not inherited at all. We can make some example here to see that. So, in case, for example, let this method be private. Private add two numbers. If we are in the same package, look the error here. So this method cannot be seen by this class because we declared it private. So the private methods are not inherited by the child class. The child class cannot see it. See you in the next lecture.